Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.
Yeah, he was a president, he was a dictator.
Junior Byles hit the headlines a couple of years ago when a video of him begging on the streets of Kingston went viral. It was subsequently revealed that the veteran singer has been struggling with depression and mental health issues since the mid-70s. In response to the video, the family stated that Junior Byles' condition has worsened with age and they have always looked for the best options in assisting him. It should be noted that he was deeply affected by rumors surrounding the disappearance of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I, and not unable to reconcile this with his belief, he attempted to take his own life. Junior Byles has some of the biggest songs in the history of reggae and dancehall, creating the biggest impact that helped to instill calm during the 1972 political violence in Jamaica. Known for songs such as Rasta No Pickpocket, Heart and Soul, and Fade Away.
You seeks of only vanity and no love for humanity shall fade away.
Even though Junior Byles may not be 100% in terms of his sanity, one and all would agree that the work he has done prior has done great for him. This is the story of Junior Byles with Ras Dennis.
This is the place to be for your reggae gist, facts, and culture.
Junior Byles was born Kenneth Byles Jr. on July 17, 1948 at Jubilee Hospital in Kingston, and grew up in Jonestown Ghetto, where his father worked as a mechanic, and his mother as a schoolteacher. His family were devoutly religious, and his early musical education came from singing in church. He formed the vocal trio The Versatiles in 1967, along with Dudley Earl and Ben Lewis Davis, while also working as a firefighter. Lee Scratch Perry, then working as chief engineer at Joe Gibbs' studio, was scouting for talent for Gibbs' new amalgamated label, and spotted the group while they were auditioning for the 1967 Festival Song Contest with The Time Has Come. Perry signed the group to the label, but left Gibbs soon after. The Versatiles stayed with Gibbs for 2 years, before moving to work with Perry, and then to Duke Reed's Treasure Isle label, also recording for other producers such as Laurel Aitken. The group split up in 1970, with Byles still working as a firefighter but continuing to record solo for Perry, sometimes with the other former Versatiles providing harmonies. When Perry's association with Bob Marley came to an end, he sought a singer-songwriter to work with who would fill the void, and Byles fit the bill. With Perry, Byles had a minor hit with What's the World Coming To, released under the name King Chubby, and over the next 5 years the partnership would result in some of Perry's most highly regarded work, with Byles' Rastafarian beliefs clearly evident, including Beat Down Babylon, King of Babylon, and The Plea for Repatriation, Place Called Africa. Rub Up Festival was Byles' entry for the Festival Song Contest in 1971, but the song's suggestive lyric led to it being disqualified after reaching the final 8. The following year's festival fared better, finishing as second runner-up. Also in 1972, Byles began self-producing and set up his Love Power label, releasing singles such as Black Crisis and Our Mistakes. Byles was one of several reggae musicians to offer support to Michael Manley's 1972 general election campaign, releasing the singles Joshua Desire and Pharaoh Hiding. Joshua referring to Manley and Pharaoh to the ruling Jamaican Labour Party's leader Hugh Shearer. Manley was elected, but improvements for Jamaica's poor were not immediately apparent, and Byles was one of several artists who had supported Manley who voiced dissent, releasing the scathing When Will Better Come. At the end of 1972, Byles had his biggest hit to date, with a cover version of Peggy Lee's Fever, with a dubby rhythm produced by Perry. November 1972 saw the release of Byles' debut album, Beat Down Babylon, which along with a series of singles that followed, established Byles as a major force in Jamaica as well as establishing him with audiences in the United Kingdom, Curly Locks being particularly successful there. Byles moved away from Perry in the mid-1970s. Regarded by some as his greatest work, The disco mix Fade Away was recorded in 1975 for producer Joseph Hukim. It was a massive hit in Jamaica and was also a big success in the UK, and was covered 5 years later by Adrian Sherwood's New Age Steppers group. It also featured on the soundtrack for the film Rockers. He also released a second album, Jordan, in 1976, produced by Weston. By 1975, Byles' health had begun to decline. Suffering from depression, he was deeply affected by rumors surrounding the disappearance of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I, unable to reconcile this with his belief, and he attempted to take his own life. He was admitted to Bellevue Hospital, after which his health continued to decline. Although he had regular spells in the hospital, he continued to record, reworking King of Babylon for Winston Holness, working again with Campbell, and recording a cover of the Archies' Sugar Sugar with Big Youth. By the end of 1976, he had all but vanished from the music scene, with a comeback attempted in 1978, recording 2 singles for Joe Gibbs. It was clear that he was still not well, however, and it would be 1982 before he re-emerged, working with New York City label Wackies. Progress on a planned new album was slow, and Byles was beset by tragedy when his mother died, and he lost his home in a fire. His wife and children also immigrated to the United States, and aside from a few singles, Byles would release nothing until 1986 Rasta No Pickpocket album. The album did not, however, see a long-lived upturn in Byles' fortunes, and by the following year, he was living on the street, scavenging for food in dumpsters, and begging from passers-by. Byles occasionally resurfaced, recording Young Girl for Wholeness in 1989, and Little Fleego 3 years later, and played a few live shows with Earl Chenna Smith in 1997 and 1998. He contributed to the Medicine Eye compilation album in 2000, and returned to live performance in 2004 in Jamaica, receiving positive reviews, and this led to a short tour of the United Kingdom. His legacy of recordings from the 1970s, however, maintain his status as one of roots reggae's leading talents. A diagnosis of prostate cancer and his ongoing mental health issues resulted in renewed attention in Jamaica toward Byles' health and musical legacy in the late 2010s. In 2019, as part of the Reggae Month celebrations, Claude Big Stone Sinclair had organized a tribute concert and 71st birthday celebration for Byles at the Rennie Williams Entertainment Center, followed by a large cash donation to Byles from the charity foundation of dancehall artist Bounty Killer the following year. Killer stopped by the popular Jamaican show on stage, which is hosted by Winfred Williams, to donate $150,000 Jamaican dollars and a $100,000 Jamaican dollars pharmaceutical gift certificate to Byles, who was also on the show. Thanks for watching, and do remember to subscribe, give it a like, and post a positive comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you again very soon for another video.
Many thanks for watching Reggae Gist Extra with Ras Dennis.